We're live. This is an example in search engine optimization where you try to take a shortcut and it ends up costing you way more time. It's about link building, getting backlinks. It's sniping your competitors' backlinks. That's what we are talking about today. This is from the SEO subreddit. It's called competitor sniping. The links may not work in the same way. And it's a very short post, super valuable, just yet another example of the best shortcut is actually the long cut. And especially in SEO, I see this every single day from people who message me. They say, I tried doing X, Y, and Z shortcut. Maybe it was using AI generated text. Maybe it was using spammy backlinks. Maybe it was making a 5,000 word page to hit all of its keywords, top of funnel keywords that they think will be super valuable. Whatever it is, I see it every day. I see these things every day. The most common ones really are AI text and spammy backlinks, but I see it every day. And time again, people spend all this time getting the AI to write this text, procuring these spammy links, and then waiting for it to work, and it doesn't work, and they spend all this time, and at the end of the day, they waste all this time. And it's like, if you just did things the normal way, you could have taken your effort, and you could have taken your time, and you could have used it to something that was going to not just get you results soon, but continue to get you results for years and years and years. That's how SEO works when you do it the proper way. So I want to read this. Competitor sniping, the links may not work in the same way. This is what it says. This is an easy one. This is actually part of a much bigger link building post, which I will share in the description to this episode. But it says, this is an easy one, but worth a mention. My clients were ranked between 4th and 6th for their main keyword, selling a consumer product similar to kids' water guns. Huge volume. Their link building was essentially copying whatever links their main and leading competitor was procuring. So they're copying their competitors' links. I've seen many clients and individuals who have come to me and said, I've copied my competitor's link profile, but it's not really worked and they're still higher than me. Here's the thing. Sometimes links won't work in the same way that they worked for somebody else. Sniping a competitor's profile can work, and if there are any epic websites in the profile, it can be worth trying to secure your own link. So epic in this case means high domain authority or super relevant to the site and the niche. However, you'd be better off in the long run simply by focusing on procuring your own link profile. So having a natural backlink profile. Simply because of the quirks of link building, copying a competitor's profile may disappoint you if it doesn't give you a similar boost. Don't spend all your time on your competitor's profile. There are many variables in play. This is a perfect example of why opinions can and do differ, because sometimes the same methodology works differently from one site to the next. Competitor link sniping can work as part of a wider link acquisition strategy, but it shouldn't be all you do. So that's it. Here's the thing. It's kind of hilarious to me how many amateur SEOs think that they can outsmart Google. And maybe you've done this yourself. People who have a few months experience doing SEO or have read a few articles here and there, and you think that you're going to outsmart Google with shortcuts that are against the rules. And that could mean spammy links, that could mean AI. The thing is, and this is now back related to trying to get your competitors' links, Google has all the data in the world on what a natural backlink profile looks like. Google knows if your backlink profile is suspicious or if it's legit. Most of the time, there's always nuances. In any huge system like Google, there's always going to be things that slip through the cracks. There's always going to be nuances. And there are lots of people who game Google, but usually they are sophisticated people with lots of experience. And as I've shared so many times on the show, even the people who have decades experience are now getting hit now because Google is just getting so much better. That's what the helpful content update was all about. It took down a lot of legit people, but it also took down a lot of the spammers. And I've talked about that so many times on the show. Google has all the data in the world on what a natural backlink profile looks like, what is real. And if you are trying to just copy your competitor's link profile, that's not going to be natural because first of all, Google's going to see like duplicate link profiles, and then they're going to see that yours was second. But there's just tons of nuances between sites that won't make all of your competitors' links relevant to you. Now, like this post says, it's worth looking if your competitors got some super valuable links in your niche. Yeah, of course, try to get those. Of course, go after those. But trying to copy your competitors' links just one for one, that is a waste of time. It is time consuming and a waste of time. And it is so much better if you just use normal, natural strategies, the ones talked about all the time on this show, to get your own links, to have your own profile, or go after bottom of funnel keywords where you don't even need that many links. Go after overlooked, low volume, super high purchase intent keywords where the people who are searching are looking to purchase or use a product. And they're so bottom of funnel that so few people are actually searching this, because at the bottom of the funnel, there's always less people. And because there's so few people searching this, your competitors aren't spending the time to go after these keywords. They think they don't matter, but they matter a lot. They make up a ton of purchases. They represent, some purchasers represent huge amounts of people or huge purchase orders. And when you rank one for one of these keywords, you end up just your page ranks one for many more similar bottom of funnel keywords. And you can do that where you don't even need that many links. And especially for one individual page, you don't need any links. But even for the root domain, you don't need that many links. You don't need, in general, that high domain authority to go after these keywords. That's what I have in Compact Keywords in my SEO program, compactkeywords.com. But in general, the best game from my experience doing SEO for some of the biggest companies in the world, Procter & Gamble, Nintendo, ADP, Microsoft, and then my own companies and other people's companies, my experience has always been the best shortcut is the long cut. If you play SEO for the multi-year vision, that's where you get the biggest wins. And paradoxically, that's when you get the most short-term successes as well. That's when you start ranking the next day or literally 5 minutes after publishing a page. I shared on this show before, this was 2020. This is so crazy. I talked about the story in depth. I got a writer from Help a Reporter Out. She wrote for one of our sites, Will Distance Learning Be Permanent? I used her writing. I improved it a bit, just put the keyword in the right places. Previously, before we published this article, ranking number one for Will Distance Learning Be Permanent, it was the New York Times. I was living in Kiev, Ukraine at the time. This was lockdowns during COVID. And I was in Kiev. I had chosen not to go back to New York to lock down New York City for COVID. And I stayed in this like crazy apartment that I had in Kiev. And from Ukraine, because a lot of people actually think that like your location where you publish a page matters. It doesn't. From Ukraine, I published this page written by somebody else, Will Distance Learning Be Permanent? Didn't build any links to it, just published it on our site. I submitted the new page to Google Search Console. And literally 5 minutes after publishing it, it was ranking number one for the keyword above the New York Times. And now years later, I believe it still ranks number one. I checked a few weeks ago. And that was one of those times where I play SEO for the multi-year vision. And this was one of those short-term wins that I got by playing SEO for the multi-year vision, by believing that the best shortcut is the long cut. And then you actually get the shortcuts. And this was one of those times. Anyway, should you try to copy your competitor's link profile? One for one, no. Build a natural backlink profile. And if you want to learn just the craziest high converting SEO strategy, check out compactkeywords.com. And that is all for episode 594 of my daily digital marketing show. 594 episodes in a row. We are making our way to 600. 594. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Send me any questions you have, any comments, anything. I can talk about them on future episodes. And I will talk to you all again tomorrow. Bye now.